Hey folks, it's Tom, the Frugal Prepper. Hey, I've had a lot of people, gardeners I've just seen, and some people are using more traditional gardening methods and not necessarily Mittleider. This is a little easier with Mittleider with the way we plant the rows, but it works for any garden. But they fight with weeds. And I tell them, you know, they look at my garden a lot of times, and there's a few weeds in it now. I usually don't let it get quite this bad. But they're like, you must spend forever pulling all these weeds. And I do. I have the morning glory bindweeds. I have the nut grass. I got everything that wants to grow in my garden. So how do we take care of it? Well, what we use is the two-way hoe. This is the Kenyan two-way hoe that I ordered off of growfood.com from the Mittleider people. And it works really well. So when I say I come out and I spend 10 minutes weeding my garden, sometimes that's hand pulling, like in between the plants. But when I really just need to get a lot of weeds out of here, you can see a lot of little weeds just growing everywhere in between. You just take this hoe and you just run it back and forth. Really, I'm not pushing it at all. And this goes right under the dirt and cuts the little seedlings right off at the crown and kills them. And then once they've germinated, they're not going to germinate again. And there we go, it's weeded. It's just that simple. This is probably the best investment for any gardener that has to do weeding. And if you use soil beds, you're going to have that problem more than other gardeners. And it also kind of helps level out the soil. What I was saying, if you use soil beds, you're going to have that problem more than sand and sawdust beds. You're going to have more weeds. It's just the way it is. But this makes it so I'll be done with weeding both of my beds in 10 minutes. And, you know, so, you know, literally 10 minutes, maybe sometimes even, if it's crazy, as much as 20 minutes to do everything with pesticides or whatever that I need to do, and I'm done for the day. But typically about 10 minutes in the morning, and my bed's good. Now, once these plants get taller, they are planted just far enough away from the edge, in theory, that I should be able to use this down the sides. These may be a little close to these beans. So next year, if I do peas, I'm going to make sure I move them in a little bit from the sides, I think. So I can run this down through there too. But this is just really makes things super easy when it comes to weeding. I mean, I'm doing this one-handed, folks. I don't even have to use two hands. I can tell you that they have a hoe that looks a whole lot like this at Home Depot and Lowe's. Doesn't work the same, folks. It doesn't work the same. It doesn't do as good of a job. It doesn't stay sharp like this one does. So what you do is, this one is $13 or something plus a little bit of shipping to get it from the growfood.com people. And it just comes with the head. You have to put your own stick on. I got this stick at Home Depot. It had a little steel thing on the end. I just cut that off. And then you just drill a couple holes and put your bolts in and you're done. But this makes your gardening experience a whole lot more enjoyable. Now, I do like pulling weeds sometimes when I want to unwind and relax. But there's days like today when it's very hot and very humid, when I just want to get it done and get back inside, right? So that's a good time to have this tool. Anyway, that's just something I wanted to show y'all, because I think a lot of people don't understand how well this works when I tell them they should go buy this. But this, you know, when you're dealing with bindweed, this makes gardening possible, okay? This makes having more than a little tiny garden possible, let me say that. Okay, everybody be happy, and remember, buying the right tools that work well is actually, in the long run, way more frugal than buying cheap tools that fall apart.